This week, the concept of a new American Civil War has been on a lot of people's minds, thanks to the governors of Texas and several other red states, along with their state National Guards, putting themselves into a standoff against the federal government over the issue of the border and daring them to make a move. Mm-hmm. We've talked a lot about this in our previous video this week, and I don't really feel like rehashing it. But
the video exists. You can go watch it.
The situation, it seems like it could be just a big photo op for clout, or it could lead to some sort of legitimate violent civil war. Guess we'll see.
It might end up like January 6th, where everyone gets right to the point of they're going to do something, and then they all, for the most part, just kind of stand around.
Yeah, like a lot of this just sort of feels like...
performative, first of all.
I mean, we already have Civil War reenactors. This is like a Civil War pre-enactment.
Yes, they're those old clothes look so silly.
Yeah.
I want to be in like the BDUs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, no, I think that is what will happen is a bunch of like neckbeard chuds will be like, oh, finally it's time. And then they'll get
just
to a
all
point.
hang out down there for like a couple weeks.
It was like, great. It was great time.
I'm hungry. Let's get out of here. I guess it is a good thing that Biden is so senile because I don't think he even knows that this is happening. He's over at touring breweries and slurring his speech like he's had like 20 beers and
legitimately asleep at the wheel.
The Greg Abbott, who's in India for some reason, he's looking for a big confrontation, and I don't think Biden even knows that this is happening. So that's actually probably good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guess
what
we'll see.
What a country.
But in the meantime, while that's happening, if we're really going to be turning the clock back to 1860, fuck it. Let's go back even farther. Let's bring back duels.
Hell yeah. Weird nostalgia for a mostly fictitious bygone era is something that's always been common in this country. People treat Norman Rockwell paintings and vintage Coca-Cola ads as if they are a genuine glimpse into the past. And the Supreme Court at this point is mostly made up of people whose approach to the law is just sort of asking a crystal ball what the founding fathers would have felt about various modern legal issues. But you don't hear a lot about wishing it was still legal to settle arguments by standing 10 paces apart and firing handguns at each other.
Nobody dueling anymore. No one wants to duel. Millennials have killed dueling.
That's right. No one wants to get slapped in the face with a white glove, thus initiating the duel.
Yeah. The gauntlet.
And it's kind of weird because several of the main characters of early American history engaged in dueling. One of the most popular stage musicals of the 21st century ends with the Vice President of the United States killing the former Secretary of the Treasury in a duel.
Yeah. Why hasn't this caught on yet? You're nostalgic for everything else. What about the duel?
At least then it's fair, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone gets their 10 paces. You turn around, whoever's quickest on the draw.
Yeah.
Not advocating it, just saying it.
That's how they used to do it.
As a concept, it does seem a little more fair.
That's how they used to do it.
Yeah, a duel isn't someone pulling into your driveway and then you shooting them.
Very dishonorable.
That's cowardice.
Yeah. But hey, it looks like there are at least some people out there who do want to return to the days of dueling, back when we settled things honorably by shooting each other with guns.
That doesn't happen anymore. No, sir.
Nope. Here's Newsweek. A member of the Missouri Senate has proposed a rule change that, if passed, would allow senators to challenge each other to a duel.
Do it. Do it. Fucking, this is great, especially if it's just politicians.
Yeah, the victimless crimes. Senator Nick Schroer put a motion to the state Senate to adopt a rule change allowing state politicians to settle grievances through physicality. His proposed amendment was posted on X, formerly Twitter, ding, by Missouri state Democrats. It read, if a senator's honor is impugned by another senator to the point that it is beyond repair and in order for the offended senator to gain satisfaction, such senator may rectify the perceived insult to the senator's honor by challenging the offending senator to a duel. The trusted representative, known as the second of the offended senator, shall send a written challenge to the offending senator. The two senators shall agree to the terms of the duel, including choice of weapons, which shall be witnessed and enforced by their respective seconds. The duel shall take place in the well of the Senate at the hour of high noon on the date agreed to by the parties to the duel.
I demand satisfaction. Love it.
We're not a serious country.
No, and if we're going this far with it, look, realistically, it doesn't have to be guns. We could just do what the YouTubers have been doing and put all the politicians into a ring and have them beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into the whole everyone's doing boxing thing, but it does, out of all the ways to violently settle your differences, it's probably the best way to do it.
And you can raise money for charity in the meantime.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Did anyone actually get paid from the last Creator Clash? Wasn't it a financial disaster?
I think no one got paid because all the money was supposedly going to charity.
But I don't think it went. I could be wrong. You got, again, I'm just throwing an offhand remark out and everyone's going to get mad at me for it. I got to stop doing that.
So, yeah, we can't find a ton of information about this Nick Schroer guy. But based on his education history, he seems to be around 38 years old. So he's not some geezer. He's a millennial.
Millennials are bringing back dueling.
That's right. We've saved the dueling industry. He seems to be your average young conservative NPC in terms of issues like abortion, etc. He's also one of the many conservatives who was really hung up on drag queens back when that was the current thing, and then got outed for previously engaging in a bit of drag himself. So this bill strikes us as pretty much just performative. It's virtue signaling, but it's also apparently in response to divisions in the Missouri legislature between the more mainline Republican majority and the Missouri Freedom Caucus, of which Schroer is a member, who are so annoying that even their fellow Republicans want nothing to do with them and have had them removed from committees for turning every session into a school board meeting.
I didn't realize, because we've had the Freedom Caucuses in our, federal legislature, and they've really planted their flag as we're the most annoying people. Even our fellow Republicans can't really stand us. So I didn't realize that this was happening at the state level too. And yeah, like Missouri, it's like Republicans control like 70% of the Missouri legislature. They own Missouri. And yet they're at each other's throats.
They just want a little bit more.
So yeah, I mean, look, it's just their fellow Republicans that they want to engage in duels with. So you know what? Let them fight, we say.
Go for it.
Do it. Bring back dueling. Bet you won't. Are you bad enough, dude, to bring back duels?
If you back out of pitching a duel, you are a coward. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a Nancy boy. You're a sissy. You're a cuck. You're a beta male. Low T. Come on, Nick. Bring a to the Senate and another senator with it.
You're editing this, so you have to cut that out or leave it in.
I'm leaving it in.
No!
But alas, it does seem that Nick Schroer, he was only memeing with this proposed legislation based on this statement from his chief of staff to Newsweek. Senator Schroer is deeply committed to restoring a sense of honor in the Missouri Senate. While the idea of a duel may have been suggested in a metaphorical sense, boo! The core message is about fostering respect and reminding members that the words used in a debate may have real consequences. Wah! It's evident to new members of the Senate that the success of priority legislation is currently dependent on personalities, and old wounds are preventing important language from becoming law. Until personal disputes find resolution and true leaders step forward to be the first to put aside personal feelings for the betterment of Missouri, we will continue to suggest ways to find a resolution. Lame. So lame.
My satisfaction is not met.
I am not satisfied.
No, this is the least satisfying.
I should fucking duel this guy over this.
Yeah.
He's not even serious about it. This is like...
Again, I say, especially because it's way safer to talk about, duel with your fists. If it's a sanctioned thing, and both parties agree to it, then fucking go for it. And do it in the Senate too. Put the ring in there.
Yeah.
Like, we're already a joke country.
We're not real.
No one is going... Do you think the other countries in the world are going to look at that and say, well, that's really weird for America to be doing?
I mean, you see this happen in places like India where like...
That's why Greg Abbott's there.
India, where they have like 1,000 plus people in their legislature. Like they'll straight up like... It's like there's no guns involved, but they'll tear tables apart.
Yeah.
They get violent in there. That's how they settle their differences. And they're still a semi-functional country. Right?
Well,
are they? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, let's take a break now from the right-wing loonies in our own country and check in on the right-wing loonies in our neighbor to the north, Canada, where $1 Canadian in coin form is also called a loonie.
And $2 is a toonie.
That's right. And you go to the strip club.
And nobody laughs.
And all the strippers are covered in bruises because everyone's throwing coins at them. It's fucked up. Bring back the paper money, Justin Trudeau, you fascist. So Canadians have spent the last few years, they've been trying to really dispel this old notion that they are any more sane than Americans. And they've been doing a pretty good job. And a great example of this was during this past summer's record-breaking wildfires, the worst wildfire season in North American recorded history. a record that will surely be broken repeatedly in the coming years. And the reason for these wildfires is pretty straightforward. Climate change leads to extreme conditions like high temperatures and drought, which turns forests into tinderboxes, so they catch on fire more easily. But if you're less inclined to listen to the vast, overwhelming scientific consensus on this topic, another theory that might appeal to you is that it's actually the big bad government starting those fires on purpose to trick us into believing in climate change for reasons. They're going to make us be like, the forest is on fire, you better move to a 15-minute city. And by 15-minute city, I mean you can't leave. And we're going to make you drive a gay car. And all the men have to dress like women, and all the women have to dress like cats and dogs and poop and piss in litter boxes.
That's what they're proposing?
I don't know.
Oh, well. Well, you know, still, lighting your own forest on fire seems like a pretty big stretch.
Yeah, who would do such a thing?
Anyways, one such conspiracy theorist up in Canada recently found himself behind bars. Was this the fascist Trudeau government silencing one of its critics? No. Turns out when he wasn't posting on Facebook about the wildfires being a government psyop, he was driving around starting wildfires.
Oh.
Wow, the most obvious answer was actually the one that turns out to be true.
It do be your own damn self sometimes.
Yeah, especially when your intentions are blaming it on the Canadian government. Here's The Guardian. A Canadian man who claimed forest fires were the result of a government conspiracy has pleaded guilty to lighting more than a dozen blazes during the country's record-breaking wildfire season, as nearly 100 fires persist in drought-stricken regions. Brian Paré admitted to 13 counts of arson and 1 count of arson with disregard for human life at the courthouse in central Quebec, an act that drew away key firefighting resources from nearly 700 fires in the province last summer. Those blazes, which required the aid of international fire crews, charred more than 4.5 million hectares of boreal landscape. Virtually all of those fires were caused by lightning strikes, the Quebec's fire service says. But at the courthouse in the town of, I'm sorry, Canadians, Chibougamau, prosecutor Marie-Philippe Chiron said on Monday 2 of the 14 fires lit by Paré forced the evacuation of 500 homes, the Canadian press reported. The largest fire lit by Paré consumed nearly 873 hectares of forest.
We're all looking for the guy who did this. Wow.
So turns out that it was the guy that was doing it intentionally to somehow prove that it was a government conspiracy.
Anyway, it continues. Fire officials investigated a string of 5 blazes in June that had no possible natural cause and broke out days after the province had implemented a fire ban. The 38-year-old Paré quickly became a suspect when he was spotted in the location of the fires and demonstrated a certain interest in fires after an interview with police, said Chiron. In June, police began watching his social media posts, which frequently focused on the province's wildfires. He shared content suggesting the record-breaking fire season was the result of government intervention, not climate change. The prosecution said police specialists developed a suspect profile based on the fires, and increasingly Paré's seemed a match. Police later obtained a warrant to install a tracking device on Paré's vehicle and found he traveled to locations where other fires were started.
What? I love fires!
After he was arrested in September, he admitted to starting 9 fires and claimed he was doing tests to find out whether the forest was really dry or not. Chiron told the court.
Turns out, after the first 2 or 3, I wasn't convinced. I had to keep going. I said, that looks pretty dry, but there's only one way to be sure.
Unlike these climate scientists, I'm going to check my work. All right?
Yeah. He went through the whole scientific method.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not the type of guy who takes other people's words for it.
No, he does his own damn research.
And then when it turns out that it is true that he can cause fires, he's like, the government is clearly setting me up here.
Yeah.
It was actually them who did it.
Technically, it was the government who set these fires because the government, they were telling me that they didn't set the fires.
Mm-hmm. Which made me want to do it more.
Which made me suspicious, and that made me want to test their theory. So it still is their fault.
Yeah, I was investigating, and then I got that drawn to the void feeling. I just had to light the fire.
You light the match and you get tunnel vision. You see nothing else. It's dancing in front of you. It's dancing for you. It was nowhere to be seen a moment before, and now it's alive, providing light, bathing your face in bright orange embers.
What if I lit this fire and passed it off as the government?
Oh, Paré, you devil.
So look, yeah, cool guy, way to go. You put lots of people's life at risk and just destroyed hectares of natural landscape.
It's like 100 meters by 100 meters.
It's a lot of beautiful Canadian natural landscape.
Yeah.
The lifeblood of the country, the most beautiful thing of any country. You just burned it to the ground. And you'd think that after the first fire, he would have figured all this out. Well,
that forest is bone dry.
Yep.
Case closed.
But when you're doing your own research, it is important to make sure that your results can be replicated. Otherwise, they might just be an outlier. And that's science.
Yeah. He's using that scientific method.
But moving on from fire to smoke, a few years back, we talked about a character known as Uncle Chen, who made headlines around the world for competing in marathons while chain-smoking cigarettes and still managing to outrun men half his age. This level of elite athleticism, especially from a man in his 50s, while engaging in one of the most unhealthy habits that's still legal, drew admiration and confusion worldwide. And we now have an update on Uncle Chen via the website Canadian Running. Uh-oh, Canada's at it again.
They're running. After a 2-year hiatus from the running world, Chinese marathoner Uncle Chen made his triumphant return at the 2024 Xiamen Marathon on January 7th. However, Chen's comeback did not go as planned, despite finishing the race in 3 hours and 33 minutes, which is
very good time.
26 miles in 3.5 hours is insane.
While chain smoking.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Despite all that, he ended up being disqualified for chain smoking throughout the marathon. Known as the smoking brother in China, Uncle Chen's time was 5 minutes slower than his 3 hours and 28-minute finish 2 years ago at the 2022 Xinjiang Marathon. It appears that the smoking habit may be taking a toll on the 52-year-old marathoner. Shut up! 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
This man is 52 years old.
Over the course of 26 miles.
Yeah. The Xiamen Marathon Organizing Committee later issued a statement announcing Chen's disqualification for smoking during the race.
Boo.
The decision was based on a violation of Article 2.12 in the Xiamen Marathon Rules and Regulations, which states, uncivilized behavior from runners such as open defecation, smoking, or trampling on flower beds or green spaces that affect the race and the safety of other runners will result in disqualification.
I feel like they had to, that smoking line was never in there and they had to add it just for him.
That's wild though. Like, I can't do the math right now, but 26 miles in 3.5 hours is
it's a pretty good pace.
He is keeping a very good pace.
My goal is 4 hours for the LA Marathon.
Yeah, this man is decades older than you, smokes an entire pack, probably multiple packs during that, 3 hours. And
yeah, I need to slow down. I pushed it a little too hard on the half marathon and my legs are not feeling good still. So this guy is very impressive. Yeah. The fact that his lungs can even do this.
It's incredible. And like, I mean, even running marathons at that age, I mean, I'm assuming he's been running this whole time, like his knees have got to be a little bit fucked up.
Dude, mine fucking hurts. So this guy, I don't know. I mean, it's a little unfair to compare what Uncle Chen does to public defecation.
Yeah,
but after doing this now for a year straight, I get it now. I fucking get it. We were making fun of all the people that shit, and even the people who finish the marathons with shit everywhere. I get it. If I'm doing 26 miles and like the last mile I shit myself, you bet your ass I'm finishing that race.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
You bet my ass I'm finishing that race.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a 100% chance that other competitors shit themselves while running in this exact race. Where's their disqualification? It's a very common occurrence in the sport. Everyone just sort of accepts it.
That's my protein bar. It's melting in my pocket.
So yeah, this decision, it does make sense for, other competitors who maybe don't want to be breathing in constant secondhand
outside. It's outside. Who's going to even do that?
But it's more difficult to say whether this is good for Uncle Chen's health, because if he stops racing because the smoking is banned, that means he's going to spend less time running and more time smoking.
Yeah.
Maybe he can try.
Just gave this guy a death sentence, basically.
Yeah, you killed Uncle Chen. So I don't know, maybe he can try running with like just a bunch of nicotine patches all over his body.
He got zins everywhere in his mouth.
He can do dip. Just spitting dip all over the racetrack.
No, he'd get disqualified for that.
They'd find a way. I feel like they really have it out for Uncle Chen.
No, he needs to get nicotine patch, slow release all over him.
But maybe the nicotine patches. But yeah, if he does that, well then he's not Uncle Chen anymore. He's just another runner.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to tell. The cool part is it looks cool while he's doing it.
It looks cool. Smoking cigarettes looks cool.
Stop stop. We need this channel to survive.
It looks really cool to smoke and do literally anything, including like high endurance exercise. Think about how cool it would have looked if Michael Phelps was smoking a cigarette while swimming.
I mean, that would look really cool because he's in water.
And it just wet. Yeah. Anyway, the best course of action for everyone would probably be something similar to when the NHL started requiring helmets. They did it only for the new players. Like starting this year, now you got to wear helmets. So you had old guys on the ice. Like NHL players get up to like almost 50. So you had all these old geezers on the ice with no helmets, like into like the
brains mush anyway.
Late 90s. And it worked out for everyone.
Call it Uncle Chen's Law.
The Uncle Chen Law. Anyone younger than Uncle Chen cannot smoke cigarettes.
Start smoking now, so that you fall into the.
You better pick up that habit. You've come a long way, baby. Have a Virginia Slim.
Yeah.
But just do that. Problem solved. Everyone wins.
I think it's
great.
It's
not fair what they're doing to this man.
Look, the pictures. It's undeniable.
Also, they need to. Uncle Chen needs to. He needs to go on television and have a doctor measure his lung capacity. Because I'm very curious. Mm-hmm. Very curious how it all evens out.
I guarantee you that it's much better than an average person who doesn't smoke. A runner who smokes versus an average person who doesn't smoke?
You would think. Yeah. But I want to see the data.
Look, I think they should run this test. I believe.
Run the test.
I believe it, yeah. Moving on now to some news out of Utah, where normal teen debauchery like sex, drugs, and alcohol are harder to come by, and the youth have to get a bit more creative with their mischief. Here's local Salt Lake City outlet ABC4. A teenager is in hot water after allegedly taping fish to ATMs in Provo and documenting the antics on social media. Among the displays posted online was a video that appeared to show 3 trout taped to a police car. The Provo Police Department said Thursday there were roughly 13 instances where the 17-year-old taped fish to ATMs and other objects. The fishy displays were shared on an Instagram account titled Fish Bandit 84. The account has more than 52,000 followers, and its posts date back to August of 2023. It's unclear if the account creator did all of the fish taping, or if they also curated content posted elsewhere online. The bio of the account reads, "Live, laugh, tape fish on ATMs." It's a bit. They stuck to it.
I'm usually pretty baffled by Gen Z humor, but this Fish Bandit Instagram account is great content. You can count me as one of those 52,000 followers.
It's like the thing in Arizona where the guy was like...
Penis Man.
Yeah, and everyone... You actually make the mystique much more enchanting
by cracking down on Penis Man, putting him in the news. You've created an army of penis men.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen.
Trout everywhere.
Yeah, I think you're going to see all types of fish taped to all kinds of things going forward. Great job, Provo Police Department.
You blew it.
You have awakened a sleeping dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah, the videos on this account, they all start with the camera pointed at the fish man's feet onto the ground before tilting up to his latest work. It's usually a fish duct taped to an ATM screen. Sometimes it's multiple fishes. Sometimes it's a cop car with 3 fishes on it. Sometimes it's the inside of a bathroom stall. He's literally pans up from him with his pants down to the door. He also, no commentary. I love that. Just let the footage speak for itself.
I kind of feel bad for the fish.
Yeah, so it's various species of fish. They look pretty fresh. Sometimes the fish have cigarettes in their mouth because it just makes it look cooler, folks. What's cooler than a fish taped to an ATM? A fish taped to the ATM, just puffing on a Marlboro Red. Also, he has definitely taken this show on the road. There's videos of fish taped to ATMs in Japan and somewhere in Europe. At least one of these fish appears to still be alive while taped to the ATM, which is not great.
No.
Didn't like that one so much. But overall, we rate this vandalism spree higher than any of the other TikTok trends that we've seen the Zoomers come up with. This is truly original, and it's art. Doing art.
I feel, by vibes alone, I feel like it's a millennial running the account, but have you seen Scenic Pisses?
Yeah.
That is one of my
Scenic Pisses. That is
the most beautiful, and it's obviously crowdsourced.
Yeah.
But it's the most beautiful places on earth, and someone just ripping the strongest piss just directly all over whatever it is. Which is fine, because it's in nature.
Yeah.
Animals are pissing all over it.
You know, ashes to ashes, piss to piss.
Yeah.
That's where it goes.
Like, it's like someone, like, in the Swiss Alps, like, just fucking pissing.
Yeah.
Or, like...
It's a great account, and, like, it's a perfect balance of like the genuinely beautiful natural scenes.
It is. And then the piss stream comes and you're like,
there it is.
A 2-for-1.
I'd do the same thing. I bet it felt great.
Yeah. I love pissing in nature. It's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just go in my backyard to piss.
I know that it obviously dissipates to the point where it's not even an issue, but there was a scenic piss recently where he did it like out of a hot air balloon.
I don't know about that. I mean, if you're over like the countryside, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, it was very high up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, who cares?
Do you think you could piss while skydiving?
No, I feel like the piss would shoot back
No,
up
but you'd have to like turn over.
Oh, yeah. It would get sucked out of you.
Is that how it works?
I don't know. I bet you could piss into your own mouth while skydiving. Has anyone done that? Someone has to have pissed in their own mouth while skydiving.
I think the piss would just go everywhere.
I mean,
some would get in your mouth.
That's even funnier because it's just shooting all over your face. It's just,
yeah, it'd be really funny to do especially if you were tandem skydiving. the instructor. All right, now hold on. We're gonna have a great day. We got the video camera set up.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna pull the ripcord out of spite.
Yeah, we're going down together.
Yeah.
Anyways, this episode is not sponsored, and probably it's demonetized.
It's probably a good thing that it wasn't sponsored, considering everything that's led up.
This episode is sponsored by American Spirits. These are natural cigarettes.
This episode is sponsored by viewers like you. If you want Elliot to keep saying things that risk everything, please consider becoming a member of the channel by clicking the join button below.
Please.
We haven't even asked this entire year.
Yeah, the join button, that's a good one.
It's almost the end of the month.
Leaving a like. Maybe leaving a dono.
We're going to get to the headlines, but I'm going to wait for you. Give you a second. Yeah. We haven't even asked all month. Hit the join button.
Come on.
Become a member.
Come on.
It's the best deal in town. It's inflation proof so far.
It is.
We haven't raised the prices like Netflix and Max.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe Biden. The membership
hey,
stays the same way.
all my members are about to go or something. Anyways, let's get into the wildest, craziest, weirdest headlines from around the world this week, starting with
excessively farting passenger forces American Airlines flight to turn around.
Hey, look, you get gassy up there. Scenic farts.
Yeah. You're all stuck in that insulated tube. And if someone gets a little too gassy, we got to go, folks.
Did we talk about the one where like someone posted about they were in like first class on a flight, and this woman was like policing the lounge, like the first class area, because she swore that someone was farting and she knew who it was. So like she was like overacting, gagging, and like pointing.
I think she dealt it. I think this was.
Oh, what is that?
Who is that?
Ew, that's nasty.
Yeah.
What did they have to eat?
You immediately remove yourself as a suspect by making it such a
flawless.
big deal.
No one ever suspects
that
you.
woman. She passed the gas.
Well, it's definitely not her.
But yeah, this one, the plane turned around, but like it hadn't taken off yet. It got onto the jetway, and then this man, he was farting, and everyone's like, "Stop it!" And he's like, "Fuck you! You're being rude to me." And then he'd fart some more, and
crazy to be able to fart on command like that.
Yeah, he's a real pro. But
you
anyway,
know what gets me going? You might have the same issue. The vegan shake from Burger Lords. I can host a comedy show in my living room.
No, I think I do all right with that one.
Yeah, it's they're comically loud.
I think they're like coconut based. I don't know.
It's like tahini or something. Tahini.
Oh yeah, tahini.
Yeah, but anyways, it gets me going.
Sesame
It's very funny. They are loud. They sound like clown farts. Hey, you're sponsoring the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for becoming a member.
Yeah, this is what you're paid for.
Oh, dog with 6 legs has operation to remove extra limbs.
It's not fair. That dog could have been like a giant bug, like an ant.
I hope they used one of the extra legs to graft onto another tripod dog. You see way more tripod dogs than 6-legged dogs.
Yeah, well, these didn't seem like this dog, it's fucking weird. It had, the 2 extra legs were like growing out of like an extra hip on one side, and the 2 legs were just, they couldn't do anything. They were just like these floppy legs. But real weird looking condition. And they were like, it was actually really hard to remove them because they had their own separate hip joint. And they were worried like they'd have to remove one of the good legs as well. Turn this 6-pod into a tripod.
It's half as many paws.
But looks like it worked out all right.
I only laughed because it immediately made me picture the scene from Arrested Development where that guy carries Martin Short around. Swing my legs at her.
Shoot me.
Hey.
Yeah, they were kind of like those legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So not very useful. I don't think any other dog would find them useful either. Just anytime someone has like extra something, you're
It's
always
never
like,
cool.
yeah, like people are born like somewhat regularly with like 6 fingers on each hand, but like the 6th one, it's always just like it's just extra skin.
Yeah, it's just flopping
You
around.
can't do anything with it. It's fucking bullshit. Come on.
Thieves cut down radio broadcast tower in southeastern Oklahoma to steal $100 worth of copper.
Yeah, it's going to take like
All risk, no reward.
$500,000 to rebuild the tower. $100. Someone went
They
in.
should have held it hostage.
It was the middle of the night. They went in with just like basic wire cutters and just cut all the wires like counter supporting it and just pushed it over and looted the $100 worth of copper off of it. And now there's like multiple radio stations that are just like, well, I guess we're not broadcasting until this gets sorted out. Cool. Great.
Woo!
Retired teacher's pension stopped as provider refuses to believe she is not dead.
There is no way. No way she's still alive.
You're not fooling me, old lady. You are dead. You are dead. Duh, you must be a ghost because it says right here in your file, you are dead.
Ghosts can't receive their pension. Sorry, get out.
Yeah, it's first of all, pension? You got a pension? Oh, must be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I have a pension. We don't have those.
What is a pension?
What is a pension? Must be nice. But I guess the UK where this happened, she has like the same first and last name as some other dead person. And even though they're like their birth dates and just all their other information is incorrect, they use a computer that just automatically removes duplicates from the
Beep, bop, boop.
from the pension rolls and without notifying him. So this lady, like every few months, she just checks her bank account and she's like, oh, it didn't come through again. I have to get on the phone for like 12 hours, sort this out again, just for it to happen in a few months.
Hey,
this is a
gives her
great way to spend the final years of my life.
Gives her something to do, someone to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, spite is a great motivator to stay alive, as
Yeah.
we've seen.
That's like one other thing that just happened over there was little Tom Holland and big Tom Hollander.
Yeah.
He got a big check in the mail
Yeah.
in the bank account. Like, oh shoot, I've got tens of millions of dollars now.
They're mixing up names over in the UK. What's
They
up
only
with
have
that?
so many.
They do. They got Nigel,
Yeah.
Callum.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see where the confusion might
exactly.
come from.
Charles
Yeah.
and various women's names, I assume.
Yeah. Gertrude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of any
5 or 6 names.
British names. Who needs them?
Who needs them? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, any name I could think of would be like, well, it's an American name.
Yeah.
Not a British name.
Yeah.
So yeah. Ben Shapiro debuts rap video with Tom McDonald.
It took all of my strength to make it through this.
I saw pictures this morning and I was like, what is this? Is this a meme? Is this AI? Is this Photoshop?
It kind of sounds like AI.
And I was like, okay, so I don't know Tom McDonald. I guess he's some like face tattoo rapper, but for the conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
They love these face tattoo rappers when they're talking about how it's cool to not be woke, I guess. But anyway, I figured like Ben Shapiro would just be like in the background of the music video, posing and stuff. No, Ben Shapiro fucking raps, and it is atrocious.
It's horrible.
It sounds almost like someone used a Ben Shapiro voice generator and just typed in some words. And
He does that talk rapping thing.
they might have done that. My theory is that he went in the studio, they had him say each of the syllables individually, and then they used studio magic to just like cram it together.
Oh yeah, he did like 200 takes, and they were like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
let's push this all together."
But even with all that
and
work,
put some auto tune and like just pull a bunch of levers.
even with all that work, it's just
It's still
he
lifeless.
he doesn't have the voice for it.
No.
He has no flow. Put this in the encyclopedia under the article for flow and just be like, it's the opposite of this.
Yeah, they should bring back that rap battle show on MTV and have Ben Shapiro rap battle people. Now there would be something I wouldn't watch it, but
No.
it should exist.
He was bragging about it. He's higher on the iTunes charts than Eminem. And people were like, iTunes still sells music.
Is Eminem putting out new stuff recently?
He was like featured on some track.
Oh.
But it was just funny. It was like using the iTunes sales charts. It's such a like, hey, that used to be very relevant, but like.
Also, like I would assume that much like the New York Times bestseller, like they should probably have a little asterisk there that says, oh, it's really weird. This company called the Daily Wire bought all of these.
He did the screenshot he showed of the iTunes charts. It had the little check mark next to it showing that he had bought his own song on his personal computer.
Who wouldn't?
I just love the sound of my own voice.
Man, God, I really killed it.
I should do a whole album.
Yes, you should.
Maybe
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. We need to all unironically support Ben Shapiro in his new career move.
Yeah, no, like boxing and rapping are two ways to get people to just get that shit out of their system in a way that, you know, is the least harmful.
Sure.
Go rap, go have a boxing match, go train for a year and
shut up.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's I think that's the way.
Hey, what's up with Elon Musk? Is he boxing soon? He's training, right? Still, obviously, he's still training, probably, right? Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've heard a single fucking thing about that.
I'm sure he's still.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Amish horse and buggy stolen from Walmart parking lot while family shopped.
I believe that horse and buggy was stolen by God, who saw them
shopping at Walmart.
Excuse me, what the hell are you doing down there? You buying milk from Walmart?
You've been smoked.
You have a cow back at home on the farm, and you are buying products that are meant to be grown in the earth and shared with the community.
This is the real conspiracy behind the 5G towers. They are exposing the Amish to God.
They are.
Yeah. And they have been smoked.
You've been smitten.
Ezekiel, you have been smitten.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, I guess, yeah, if you get around by horse and buggy, like, how did people do this before?
You tie them up in a knot that only you know.
Yeah, I guess so. Because, like, you can't lock it. They didn't. And
people used to have respect. You'd have a duel if someone took your horse.
Like, I don't think the U-lock came out until, like, the 50s or something. Yeah. So, like, yeah, you're going to work and you bring your horse, like, you just leave it out there?
Maybe the horse, look, I don't fucking know. Does a horse know its rider and, like, would buck someone else off?
I don't know. I mean, they're smart animals, but...
Do you think the guy that stole this horse and buggy went, yeah?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like, because that's all I would know. If I was like... Yeah. I would say, giddy up, yeah, all those things.
Yeah. It's a great way to get around.
Yeah. It is. The Amish got it right.
They did.
And we shouldn't be stealing their horse and buggy, no matter how tempting it looks.
Yeah, let them keep the horse.
Yeah.
New Jersey house vandalized with pepperoni. As an Italian, it hurts the heart. This is a hate crime. They've done a hate crime on me. They put pepperonis all over the house. What the hell is wrong with people these days?
It's called a hate crime, T. It's when they cover your house in pepperonis.
It's anti-Italian discrimination.
What's the word that wasn't it like one of the Cuomos or something got called it?
Oh, Fredo?
Yeah.
Hey, you better watch it, buddy. That's an anti-Italian slur. It's a slur.
Literally fighting words.
It's just, it breaks my heart. As an Italian, we could have cooked with those pepperonis. We could have put them on pizzas.
Love the idea of like getting hit with a pepperoni being a hate crime. But I don't know. Maybe look, as a almost full-blooded Italian, I think it's funny, and I can say that apparently.
Yeah, but you're not culturally Italian. They wouldn't consider you Italian.
I'm Florida Italian.
You're a lapsed Italian.
Yeah, sure.
Or as the Mormons would say, you're a Jack Italian.
I went back to the home country. I said hello. Everyone said, "Get the fuck out of here."
We don't get the fuck. Who are you?
They started throwing pepperonis at me.
Hey, get out! Throw the pepperonis at this man. Yeah. This lady, she considers herself Italian, but she doesn't know. This is a classic Italian tactic.
Yeah. LA Housing Department displaced from office by landlord. Beautiful. Wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of people are... So the LA Housing Department, they are a department that moderates disputes between tenants and landlords.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying maybe this will wake them up because they apparently have a reputation for pretty much always siding with landlords. So this is some little karmic justice. They haven't had an office for like weeks now because the landlord at their office building kicked out them and like 10 other local government agencies. It's just like, How
This
does
is
this
just
happen?
like the Taylor Swift AI stuff. Like, it has to happen to someone who actually has to be forced to care now.
Yeah, I hope the people at the LA Housing Department, the whole annoying experience of all this, I hope this gives them a greater appreciation for what people in the city go through all the fucking time.
Now imagine that's your place where you live.
Yeah.
That's your home.
Yeah.
Where your children sleep. It makes it a little more serious, doesn't it? Yeah.
Wine is a gift from God, Pope Francis tells Italian producers.
Baron.
He's been on this like weird role lately where he's like, God wouldn't have made sex feel so good if it was a sin.
Yeah, he's had some weird ones. He's had some like really like antiquated takes, but also some like really weird, like, hey, by the way, just so everyone knows, wine's cool as shit now.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Yeah, it's good to, and like I guess the Italian wine producers, they're all very upset about some new EU law that's going to like put warning labels on alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're hoping that like the Pope saying like it's straight
holy,
from God.
yes.
So yeah. But he's he pissed off a bunch of Catholics by like saying that if gay people want him to bless them, like he'll do it. He won't like bless the marriage, but he'll bless the people. People are like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. The Pope has gone woke.
Throw some pepperonis at him.
Yeah. And it's all just like Americans who are basically Protestant.
Yeah.
They just like going to a church that looks kind of cool instead of like a strip mall.
Yeah.
So,
a fucking portable trailer.
Yeah. Like that's the one thing the Catholics they've got the Riz.
Unless you go to like Texas or something, and then that's when you get like the Righteous Gemstones churches.
Yeah. But even those, they're like McMansions.
Yes.
Like they're
an affront to God.
They have all the elements of like a timeless, cavernous building, but like it's just missing something.
A soul.
You can tell
a literal soul.
You take one look at it and you're like, that building that was built in 2013.
Yep. Van Gogh Museum fires multiple workers for Pokemon shenanigans. They like were stealing exclusive cards that were only available.
So
there.
Did you go there?
I couldn't get in because I was wondering why it was sold out.
So they
like
were
weeks
giving
in
away.
advance.
Yeah, is this exclusive collab, Van Gogh X Pokemon.
Yeah,
where it's like these packs of cards with variants like in the Van Gogh style, and like of course limited edition, so people are flipping them. And then, of course, the people working at the museum who, like, if you're working at a museum, like, you're not getting paid a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. They're like, but what if I use these cards that I'm selling to people all day who
are doing the same thing?
Yeah. But I guess they got caught. And,
I saw the Pokemon Van Gogh stuff around, and I didn't know that they were doing some exclusive giveaway. But yeah, when I tried to book, it was the only museum that you literally could not get into. Like, even those, like, because sometimes, like, tours will buy up tickets, and then you have to go through them to get it. None available.
Yeah. It's such a weird, like promo. Like, I'm sure it made them so much money, but it's like, how many people were showing up, buying the cards,
then just leaving.
And then leaving?
Yeah. Have a separate entrance for people that just want to do the museum.
I want to see this priceless, timeless art.
Yes.
From one of the great masters.
One of the Dutch masters.
The Dutch masters.
Luckily, they had a couple in the Rijksmuseum. Or the Rembrandt Museum.
The
Rijks?
I don't know. It's Dutch. It's not real.
The Rembrandt Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had some in there.
Oh, they got a couple Van Goghs as a treat?
Yeah, as a treat. Yeah, you get a little sample.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
People love, I love the, like, going through the decades there because you see, like, trends that all the artists back then are just doing.
Yeah.
Like, there's the still life stuff. They love balancing plates on the edge of tables.
Oh,
it's like a cool trick they were all doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is funny. They'd word would get around pretty slowly.
Yeah.
Like writing letters to each other and stuff, but...
This boring. Hang a plate off the edge of the table.
Yeah.
There was also this one, I gotta remember who the artist was, but I took a picture of it somewhere. But it's literally Jesus doing a prank. Like, what? Jesus
I need
was
to
there,
see this.
and then it's like the image is just it's like he went poof. Like, so the smoke is still there, and the description is like these guys just realized that Jesus was there and then he left. Oh. So they're all like, no, we had our chance to talk to Jesus.
This seems like it has a lot of meme potential.
It is. The whole section of this guy's paintings were like he was like almost like a comedian, it looked like.
Yeah.
It was a little social commentary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was very funny. I'll look up the name afterwards. Someone will put it in the comments after they're done correcting you about the charity.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Are you a member yet?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for the
video's over. Go play Pal World and
like the video. Subscribe to the channel, become a member, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.